So today started like any other day. We went through security, we had some lunch. During lunch, Christine expressed some concerns to us that she didn't think that the guys were going to have their work done in time, the prototypes ready for the presentations. And myself and the other girls tried to put her at ease, sort of explaining that didn't really matter as long as, they could build some sort of little prototype or something to show because their designs are fairly complicated. And we didn't want to put too much pressure and stress on them, it's supposed to be a fun experience. We made our way across to the textiles room. It's quite a difficult space to work in because obviously we're working alongside the other guys, and we have 2 sewing machines. So obviously Danny and Lee are on each sewing machine, but Christine has a bit of a habit of pulling one off if she needs to do something, which isn't always ideal. So we started off the session making the wallet that we talked about the previous day. And it was kind of boring for us all because we were just sort of sat around watching, Danny was pulled off his machine so she could make this wallet. And myself and the other girls were just sort of like in limbo. This was the first time that we were working on our own with the guys, and we were supposed to be leading the session. But I think we were all a little bit like, nobody really wanted to take the lead, and therefore it ended up being Christine taking the lead, and I don't think anyone really wanted to I think by the time we were sort of realising that this should be us that are starting the session and leading the session, I don't think any of us really felt comfortable or confident enough to be like, right, Christine, this is what we're doing. I don't think we felt as though we had the authority to sort of say, right, we're leading the session, can you take a back seat? So it was a little bit, it got off to a bit of a shaky start. Christine, Marie and Tiff worked with Danny to help him make the pattern for his bag. And myself, Kat and Priyanka were working with Lee. Lee's quite independent. He no longer wanted to make his bag. He really didn't have any reason for this. He just decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And he said he wanted to make a wallet instead. And when I was asking questions about it, he really wasn't interested in the design process. He just wanted to make something. And to be honest, I was just like, do you know what, fair enough, just make what you want. During this time, Lee wanted to put a little window in his wallet, and he was sort of like trying to figure out how to do it, and all 4 of us were sort of like in conflict with each other and how we thought that, it should be done. And we were sort of like bickering amongst ourselves. And this was for like 5 minutes. It was really ridiculous. And it was becoming quite like stressful and heated. And in the end, I was like, right, do you know what, Lee? You show us what you mean. And instantly, I think like Kat and Pri sort of realised what I'd realised, that we were being really overbearing. And it was interesting because after the session finished, Priyanka actually said, Kat actually said to me, oh, I'm glad you did that because, I hadn't realised what was going on. And I was like, oh, I know. Lee did it his way, realised and could see why it didn't work, and then took a different approach, and it was good because he was able to see why his way didn't work. And it's just part of learning, isn't it? You've got to make mistakes to learn. The whole session in general was just so stressful. Marie made a comment about there being too many cooks in the kitchen, and there really was. We're in a small space. Christine was being unbelievably overbearing. You know, she kept pulling Danny off the machine, taking over what he was doing. You know, it's difficult because she can obviously anticipate that he's going to make a mistake. And instead of letting him make that mistake, she would, you know, pull him off the machine or stop him. And I could see that this was becoming especially stressful for Tiff and Marie because, you know, they were trying to tutor him, and, you know, we're supposed to be leading the sessions, not her, and they're supposed to be sort of like mentoring and coaching him, not her. So it was, yeah, it was really, really stressful. You know, when she took him back at the end of the class, you know, we were talking amongst ourselves, and we sort of said to each other, like, we're going to have to speak to her because we can't go through another session of her being so overbearing. And we'd asked we asked Danny, we were like, you know, would you have preferred to have had your own space and, you know, be able to make mistakes? And he was adamant he was like, you don't learn unless you make mistakes. And he's right, you don't. I think Christine is so, I think the way the program's been set up, that Christine feels as though these guys have to have something perfect to show at the end of it, and if they haven't, then they've not achieved their goal. So when she can see that they're not doing something right, or she just thinks she wants to get on with it, she just pulls them off the machine, and that's really not the point. So yes, please go back to speak to it this week. Which I'm sure, you know, we're all like quite smart people. I'm sure we can put it to her in quite a diplomatic way that's not going to offend her. So that's something